So will there be a housing market crash? Home prices hit a record high in June of 2024, and then in July, home prices fell. So is this the start of the housing market crash? In this video, I will show you the data and give you the analysis and my opinions. So let's tune in. The median sale price of a home in the US is at $439,500. So you are looking at a 5-year chart. In 5 years, home prices have gone up by 47% compared to 12 months ago. Home prices have increased by 4.1%, but look at this. Look at month over month from June to July. Home prices have gone down by 0.6%. So should we be concerned about this being the start of a housing market correction? So I don't know what you are thinking, but I want to show you this in 2023, 2022, and 2021. From June to July, home prices fell probably because of seasonality, and it happened again in 2024. Okay, so let's think this through. Let's think about this logically. What would cause a housing market crash? So I would say that one possible way would be if there is a massive wave of foreclosures. Right now, there's about 1.8 million homes listed for sale. So that's the size of the market. To give you some context, in 2010, so we are looking back at the last housing market crash. In 2010, there were 2.9 million foreclosures in that year alone. So just think about the consequences. If 2.9 million homes got foreclosed on, that would add to the supply, and obviously that would trigger a housing market crash, which is what happened. So maybe foreclosures will crash the markets in 2024 or 2025, right? But there's just one problem. Here's a chart of foreclosures for the first 6 months of each year. So this goes back to 2008. The problem is that foreclosures are actually down this year compared to last year. And if you notice, the foreclosures are nowhere close to 2008 levels, leading up to the peak in 2010. So this argument doesn't make any sense that foreclosures will crash the housing market, at least not anytime soon, unless you are warning us to prepare for the housing market crash of 2028. In that case, well, thanks for the heads up. Okay, so maybe we will get a housing market crash not because of foreclosures, but because supply just suddenly shoots up. Maybe millions of more Americans will just want to sell their homes, list their homes for sale just out of nowhere. So let's take a look at the number of homes for sale. There are 1.8 million homes listed for sale right now. So that's a big improvement from last year's supply. It's up by 17.7%. However, there's still less supply compared to 2 years ago, and it's still much less supply compared to pre-pandemic when we were at 2.4 million in July of 2019. Okay, so there goes that argument, because how are you supposed to have a housing market crash when there's more demand than there is supply? And supply is still suppressed, well below pre-pandemic levels. Okay, so how does that situation reverse, where demand just drops and then you have supply going up the way that would happen if there's a recession, where millions of more Americans become unemployed? The economy gets destroyed, and then that would cause a housing market crash. But listen, I will tell you sincerely, that's close to impossible. So if you truly understand how deep of trouble the United States of America is in right now, then you will understand that we cannot have a deep recession. We cannot have a high unemployment. It's just not an option. So if you don't understand why I'm saying this, then you don't understand the current situation. Our country literally cannot afford a deep recession. The US government and the Federal Reserve will not allow it to happen. Do you know why? I mean, it's a long story, but long story short, it's because of the debt crisis. This is why the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates in September. So they are going to cut rates, they are going to pivot, they are going to continue cutting interest rates, and they are going to print trillions of dollars. So the market is already anticipating the Federal Reserve to start cutting interest rates, which is why the 30-year fixed mortgage has now dropped to a new 1-year low at 6.46%. So listen, if you are interested in the direction of mortgage interest rates and you already know what I said, that if the Federal Reserve does not cut interest rates, then we are going to be range bonds. We are talking about 30-year fixed from 6.5% to 7.5%. That's what happened. But now we got confirmation from the last inflation report from the Fed minutes and Jackson Hole that they are going to cut interest rates starting in September. Now, if they keep cutting interest rates in 2024, that the 30-year fixed will still be deep in the 5% range to 6%. Now, there is a chance that we go below 5% in 2025. That's if inflation doesn't spike back up so quickly, because inflation will reaccelerate. It's just a matter of when. Okay, so to summarize, where are we at? Foreclosures are low and they are not spiking up. Demand is still greater than supply right now. Okay, but a severe recession at high unemployment rate could do the trick and cause high foreclosures and reduce demand. But the government and the Federal Reserve, they would come to the rescue in that type of situation to prevent a deep recession. If the Federal Reserve does come to the rescue, obviously that would be inflationary, because the way that they would rescue the economy would be to print money and to lower interest rates. But then, if they do that, how would home prices crash in that type of environment, where they are lowering interest rates to close to zero and they are printing trillions of dollars? That's so inflationary. So you see what I'm saying, that this game is rigged. So listen, a lot of people are rooting for a housing market crash, not because they have bad intentions or because they simply want chaos. No, it's because many people want home prices to come down so they can afford to buy a home. I get it. Like, who doesn't want home to be affordable again, right? I would say, hell yeah. I would put my 100% support behind it. Do I want world peace and no more hunger and sunshine and rainbows? Like, I say yeah, of course. Sign me up on any given day. You know, I want all that to happen overnight. But are we going to get it? Are things going to get better? I would say probably not. Like, I'm just being honest here. Some people believe that just because home affordability is bad right now and it must get better, like the home price is very high right now, but it's likely to go even higher. With that being said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next time.